we have seen how to retrieve all the books. But now let me show you how to add a new book in the existing table. Let me copy the get all books here, paste it one more time, and I will call the method add book. We will be adding one book here. So let me cut that, and I will actually add that before the get all books, and let's create that method. When we have to add a book, we need to create that. Let me create a book that we plan on adding. If you remember, we have the book IDs if we go to the database here, but when we are adding a new book using EF Core, we do not have to provide the book ID. EF Core knows that it is an identity column and it will not expect a book ID. If you provide a book ID, it will actually throw an error message. I will show that as well. But to get started, let me add a title, new EF Core book, ISBN, some value, and we have the price. Let me say 10.93. Perfect. That is the book that we want to add. We have our DB context here, and on context.books, we have a different helper method, which is add, and there it expects a book object. So let me pass that. Now with EF Core, if you just do that, it will not actually add book to the database yet. At this point, it will track that, hey, I have to add this book to the database, but I will only add that when we invoke the save changes method inside the DB context. So in our context, there is a method save changes. So right here, it keeps a track of everything that it needs to add. We can add multiple books if we want to, but when we call save changes, only that time it will go to the database and create the records. Let me show you that in action. Our add book will be invoked first. Perfect. Right here, let me press F10. So line 34 has been executed. If I switch back to SQL Server and if I refresh here, you can see here we only have 5 books. And actually that book addition will fail because we did not provide a publisher ID. Let me show that as well. We hit continue here and we get an exception. Insert statement conflicted with a foreign key for publisher ID. So we need to fix that real quick here and add a publisher ID. We have 3 publisher. Let me add one for now and continue. Perfect. Now we are on the save changes. When we execute save changes, let me press F10 here. At that point, the changes were actually saved in the database. If we go back here and refresh, great. You can see we have the 6th book here. Now if you notice here, we had the book ID of 1234 and this one is 1002. That is because with SQL Server, it blocks the 1000 ID. So next time if you restart the application, it bounces by 1000. That is the default behavior of SQL Server. But with that, it added the book, and if we continue, switch back to the console application, now we have the new book that got added here. With that, add functionality is working as expected.